Hello, everyone.
Hi, Damon. Hi, Adrienne. Hi, Stella.
Hi, Elizabeth.
I do not hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear now.
Great.
Well, I bet we'll have a few more roll in, hopefully.
Do you know of specific people who've said they can't be here tonight?
I know Vivian can't, Kimber cannot, and I think Sylvia is coming in late. And I just got an email like minutes ago that Michael can't make it. Something's come up for him.
Too bad.
So we need a couple more people to make sure we have quorum.
Do we have anything we have to vote on tonight?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything to vote on. Just double checking. No. I mean, one thing that we need to chat about is our currently scheduled June date for the meeting. There is a council meeting, so we need to select another date, but that's not really an official vote.
You know, I should mention this when more people are here, but just thinking about folks who can't make the meeting and attendance issues, we're gonna have to publicize, and this might be part of Elizabeth and our work on orientation, but the guidelines, rules, and regulations for commission membership. Because I don't know that it's ever been talked about when I've been on the commission thus far, but there are some regulations about attendance and
Right.
stuff like
You
that.
miss 3 meetings in a row. Well, I think you're supposed to not miss 3 meetings in a row.
And I think there's a maximum.
There is
too.
a maximum, and council reserves the right to remove any commissioner that's missed more than 4 meetings. I'll have to go back and look at
Cycle.
that. But basically, council reserves the right to remove commissioners if they miss more than the designated number of meetings, whatever that is. I should have this committed to memory, shouldn't I?
It came up with it came up earlier. I guess it was sometime last year it came up with.
Right. It did. Here's what it says really quickly. A member of commission may be removed at the discretion of the commission members. A member of the commission may be recommended for removal by city council after 3 consecutive absences or 4 absences total in a 12-month period. So, right, I do think that's important that we make sure that that is something that gets highlighted in the new member orientation. So.
Yeah, that's a good call. I agree.
Yeah. Bylaws are not the most interesting thing to read, so you can't blame people for not really doing that with a lot of attention and fine-tooth comb.
Oh, good. Here's one more. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Hello, good afternoon. Sorry for joining late.
No, you're
Hi,
fine.
Amanda.
We're
We're
hoping
actually
for one
waiting.
more person. And I think Dave is back from Winneba. So maybe he'll roll in. I haven't heard anything from him. Anybody doing anything interesting this summer? Any fun plans?
I am going to Italy tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well, thanks for joining us today.
I was actually supposed to leave Sunday, but I didn't receive the document for my cut on time. So I moved the flight, and of course, as soon as I moved the flight, I received the document. But well, I expected them.
What document did you need, Stella, for
You
COVID?
need
or-
no, for the cat. So you need the health certificate stamped from an office in New York. They have to mail it to you because it has to be on paper, so it cannot be digital. So it's
But
like
Fine.
What is the cut? What am I?
a cat.
She's taking her cat.
Oh, the
Yes.
cat. I need that flat Chicago. The cat. Gotcha.
Will you be there all summer, Stella?
No, I'm coming back in July.
Okay.
Well, that'll be nice
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Elizabeth,
I will.
yeah, go ahead, Adrian.
Oh, I'm just remembering that my husband and I were invited to go to Maine for a week. Friends of ours have a place they love, and they've been renting this house, and asked us to join them for one of their 2 weeks. So we're trying to hook something else onto it, and we haven't gotten around to it yet. And as every day passes, I worry that the pickings will be pretty slim because, people are still dying to have some vacation after this past 2 years. But anyway, Maine, somewhere up in the inland, like not coastal Maine. I can't remember the town might be called Rangeley or Rangeley Lake or something. But anyway, Maine is always wonderful.
That sounds nice. I bet it is perfect this time of year.
Well, Damon, do you think we should just get started and, or do
Well,
we have to wait until we have a
I
quorum?
mean,
We don't have to.
I think we can talk about, we don't have anything to vote on. So I think, Max, is there any reason we can't continue on with our agenda?
I don't think so.
Okay, well then, in that case, how about we start? I guess we can't really approve the minutes because that is a vote, correct? So,
That's true. We could put
Maybe-
that, we could push that down the agenda to see if
Yeah,
somebody
let's
else
see.
joins.
yeah, let's do that.
I have a
So,
quick question
Yeah.
on the minutes. We did not have quarterly committee meetings, right? It was in there that we were going to think about having them in May, but I
You're
hope
right.
I didn't miss something. Okay,
you
good,
didn't
good,
miss
good.
It's that mystery Zoom email.
Oh,
You
that's
missed
what
it.
that was.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
No, I've been bad and I have not sent it.
Well, I'm actually, I think it might serve us better to do it even one more month. So it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay. A lot of the secretary's report, I just kind of made that the destination of a lot of general topics that came up, much to Elizabeth's surprise. So if you want, Elizabeth, I can go over them. But you
Yes,
probably
take it
have-
away.
Okay. So the first item on the list was in-person versus virtual meetings. And I know that Max has let us know that in the past that she would let us know. But Max, are there any updates regarding that topic?
Yeah, so right now your virtual meetings will continue through September.
Okay. Good to know.
Including September? Is that including September?
I have to, pardon me, I have to go back and look at the language. Don't want to tell you wrong information,
Okay.
but
Okay. So the September meeting, just for our information, will probably be our retreat. It's just something to keep in mind. So that'll be an extended meeting, most likely.
Wouldn't it be nice if that could be the in-person
Yes, yes, yes. It would be so nice.
return
It
to
would be
in-person?
nice. It would be nice. I presume we would still have to meet, however, at the city council office. Is that right, Max? That pretty much all of our meetings have to be at least advertise. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, your meetings are public meetings. So members of the public would need to be able to have access to them, so.
And it would more than likely need to be at the city council office, is that right? Or could it
City Hall.
simply be somewhere else?
In City Hall,
City Hall, okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, it would still be nice to be in person.
And to shoot for.
It is.
Is there ever any possibility for a retreat type meeting that is not open to the public? Max?
That isn't something that I have discussed with Keena. I know the topic raised before, so I can ask about that.
There is the occasional art exhibition.
Yeah, but it just seems like with the kind of work that we do, or especially that we'd like to start doing more of.
Mhm.
It'd be good to have working sessions where we can do a bunch of stuff. And-
Yeah,
yeah.
less formal maybe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
That would be
I'm
nice.
thinking of what we would refer to as a closed meeting, but I don't know the guidelines surrounding that, so I'll check. with you
Yeah,
and get back
Okay.
with you.
Thank you.
yeah.
So there were questions about, moving on, commission membership renewals and committee member updates. So I want to just briefly share my screen for the list of people's terms, just so everyone is kind of on the same page. That's not it. This is it. So this is for your information. Unfortunately, some of the people who just joined are going to need to apply again. But that is where we are. We have, I believe, 5 members who plan to renew. And Michael has informed me that he plans to renew. I mean, I say there are 5 people who have choices to make. That's what I should say. And Michael has informed me that he plans to renew, and I believe Sylvia also plans to. So that is the list there. Anyone else want to continue looking at it while I can take it off? And anyone is welcome to make any announcements or not on that topic, or if there's any questions.
So you have not heard from the others whose terms expire yet?
Well, I have, but
Okay,
they can
okay,
say their plans if they want to.
okay.
But so that's where we are right now. I have chatted with one person from the community that is interested in applying, and I'll follow up with him. Presuming there are spaces available. But I mean, anyone can apply because they're open slots, even if none of us were to step down.
Damon, can we, I didn't read that list fast enough, but can we identify who the
Yeah.
5 people are? And
Oh, let me share again. So they are Allison Brown, Amanda Folsom, Michael Grinnell, Sylvia Neustron, and Dave Norris. Those are the people who are currently up for renewal.
okay, and then, so what we know thus far, and I appreciate I guess you're not wanting to speak for the others, but what we know is Amanda, you will be leaving us, right? And Sylvia and Michael hope to stay on. Is that correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay, and we don't know about Allison, although I would guess. we would all-
Allison, she is planning to renew, yes.
Okay, so Alice and Sylvia and Michael, and we don't know about Dave.
Correct.
And when does the term begin in June or does it begin in July?
It ends in June and begins in July. And the application deadline is June 10th.
Okay.
Okie doke. Shall I stop sharing?
Yeah, thanks. I just
Actually,
wanted to know. Yeah.
I will, the next topic I was going to speak about, there was a question as to who is on the committees. So here are the list of those who are on committees, and feel free to correct me if you see anything that I'm missing, or you are not on one of these committees. And some aren't really, I mean, yeah. So anyway,
I can tell you that I'm pretty sure that Allison was also on the grants committee.
Allison,
Mhm.
Okay.
She was, she definitely attended our meeting.
good.
I
Thank
can't remember if that was the grants proper or the travel, but since travel at the moment is still under the grants, she was active there. And
Yes,
she,
Amanda? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, I thought you were.
well,
I-
she
Go ahead,
would,
Adrian.
she
and
would
I'll
be
come in after you.
Allison, what is
Oh,
her
yeah,
last name?
Brown, sorry.
She's really on the grants committee.
Yeah. Amanda?
Thanks, Damon. I just wanted to have to come in on the previous point and related to committees as well, that I have signaled my intention to rotate off at the end of my 3-year term. And with some sadness, I've really enjoyed this experience and considered very carefully the opportunity to renew, but felt I had some other competing priorities right now. And so I also just really wanted to thank you, Adrian, for your leadership on the grants committee. And that's been really the focus of most of my effort over the last 3 years with the commission. And I think it's in wonderful hands, and really pleased to see that there's some other new commission members who are stepping into the grants committee. I think it's a really important function of our work. So I will continue to support and follow the work of the commission as I rotate off, and want to thank all of you as fellow members, and Damon for your leadership. Thank you.
Well, Amanda, we really appreciate you. I know we have leaned on you a lot in regards to our institutional memory. I mean, it probably seems a little odd for you because I know you've not been on that much longer than I or the rest of us have, but you came on at a really important time when things were still normal. And unfortunately, very few of us have had that experience. So it's been really valuable, and you've definitely been so important to the grants process, and you've done so much. So we all really appreciate that. Thank you for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I second that, Amanda. You were really essential to my learning pretty much everything, most of what I know about the commission, and especially on the grants. And I really followed your lead, and I hope it would be okay if needed in the future, if we could consult with you or ask a question here and there.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm not going anywhere. So yes, I'm open to any questions. And yes, I attended a few in-person commission meetings before the pandemic. So it's great to hear that may be a possibility again this fall for everyone. So yeah, let me know if I can be helpful in any way after I rotate off. Thanks.
Definitely will. Thank you very much.
Before you all move on, I just wanted to confirm that you will be meeting virtually through August. So council will review protocol sometime early September, late August.
Okay, great. Good to know. And that's, I mean, a lot of us are traveling in the summer. It's not such a bad thing that we're still virtual for the time being. But it'll be nice to be with each other in person, that's for sure. It was nice at the art exhibit the other day, for the first time in human. Okay, I'm just in regards to potential applicants. Kate Kogi is moving back to Charlottesville. I don't know if she would be consider, I should email her. I don't know when she's coming back. Okay, let me stop sharing. Hey, Dave is here. Hey, Dave, you make us have quorum.
Welcome back.
I'm sorry, I'm
Welcome
so late.
back.
I got held up on a work call. I'm sorry.
No problem. Good to have you with us. So just to catch you up, and then we'll go back to the minutes. We just spoke about in-person versus virtual meetings, and the plan is for us to continue being virtual through August, and that one way or another, our September meeting, unless things change, will be in person. We spoke about commission membership renewal and the intentions of the people who are currently who are their terms are expiring. And right now we know that Allison Brown is planning to apply. Amanda is Folsom is not. Michael Grinnell plans to apply, and Sylvia Neustron plans to apply. And I think that leaves one person. And you can let us know whenever you want, but the deadline to reapply is the 10th of June.
Yeah, I've loved serving on the commission. I feel like maybe it's time for some new blood. And I've got an overfull plate at this moment, but I will continue to be very active in supporting the Charlottesville-Winneba Sister City Partnership, but I don't intend to reapply for the commission. I am actually putting the word out to a couple of potential applicants to continue carrying the torch, but so that's sort of where I am at this moment.
Okay, all right, understood. Thank you for the information. Well, again, we were just giving Amanda props for all her great work, and obviously you've been so instrumental in the institutional memory of our commission, and you're always such an active member, and we've really appreciated the background, history, and the knowledge that you have. So thank you very much for all that you've done for us.
Well, thank you. And please don't hesitate to call on me in the future if I can help with anything or provide information or background. So
Sounds good. We definitely.
Thanks, Dave.
Sure.
Yes, thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay. We also just took a brief look at who is on all the committees. Okay, so now how about we go back and talk about the minutes. Elizabeth?
All right, well, so I did get the minutes to you terribly late, and I really apologize about that. It was too much on my plate this month. One of the downsides of waiting so long is that sometimes I think it's more likely that I will have made mistakes. So I wanted to ask if anybody noticed any corrections that need to be made, or if there are any mistakes, or anything that needs to be eliminated, or anything that is screaming that you recall that happened that you feel that I did not adequately address. Speak now.
I didn't notice anything.
I've started, as you may have noticed, when it feels like there are action items that come up in the meeting, that somebody sort of says, I'll do this before the next meeting. I've started highlighting those in the minutes. I hope that meets with everyone's approval. And I highlight them in blue so that it will call your attention to that. And I'll continue to do that unless there are objections to that. I felt like that might help just kind of keep us on track with what each of it would certainly help me keep me on track with what I've committed to do between meetings.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
On that topic, this isn't really any correction to the minutes. We're fine in my view, but it does say that Elizabeth and I would be working on this orientation materials and event, and we were going to potentially plan that for between May and June, but I'd like to propose, this kind of dovetails with the next item on the agenda, that we schedule that for maybe between July and August, I'm thinking. It just seems to fit it gives us plenty of time to prepare some materials, but it really fits potentially 3, 2, 3, 4, 5 new members. I guess, I mean, the 3, if the 3 people renewing are still on the commission, as we all hope, I think, for continuity, they still need some orientation. And then there would be 2 brand new people if positions got filled. So all I want to do is change our plan, timing plan for that.
Yeah, I'll make a note of that. I think that is probably on that next agenda item for the
That's the
secretary.
next item, yeah.
So any other corrections? Revisions? If not, I guess you can call for a vote.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please say aye.
Don't we need a motion and a second?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Thank you.
I
No,
second.
thank you.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? All right, very good, thank you. Okay, so the next point on our agenda is progress on the orientation / handbook for new members.
So Adrian, would you like me to share with the commission that we
Sure.
have, Adrian and I have scheduled a meeting, a work session between the 2 of us to begin hammering out an orientation handbook. And so we'll be doing that here at the end of this week. At least we'll get started on that. Hopefully, depending on our progress, we'll have something more substantial to report at the next meeting. And I just would like to, I just really would like to endorse, Adrian, your suggestion that really at this point, it probably makes more sense to hold off and do an orientation ASAP in July. And capture the newish commission members along with the brand new commission members. I think that will be all right because, as you may recall, 2 meetings ago or after, I think after the March meeting, I sent all of the relatively new commission members a whole list of documents, the links to the most important documents on our shared drive for them to read over on their own time and sort of digest. So that was an effort to do a little bit of getting people up to speed. And my part 2 of that, which I will do between this meeting and next meeting, is send people important links, if they exist, to committee related documents from the shared drive, now that we know who's on which committees. So my hope is that that just sort of gives a kind of a first, enough of an orientation to kind of hold people at this point until we do something more formal. So I don't know if others have thoughts, but that makes sense to me.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Thank you both for your work on that. Okay, it's been brought up that the Sister City Commission sign on, I believe, 5th Street is obstructed by bushes. Max, who should we speak with about that? About getting those bushes cleared back?
I would imagine someone in Public Works. I could shoot an email to someone in that department. Sorry about the noise.
If you-
Yeah, and let them know. You said it's the sign on 5th Street?
Yes, yeah, it's the one kind of going up that hill over there, approaching, further into town.
Okay.
And yeah, I've noticed it too. It's just like bushes and trees or whatever growing up over it.
Mhm.
And hey, I'm not opposed to going there with a few loppers, but it's right on the road, and it would probably be a safety concern for somebody to just walk up there and start, hacking on the trees and bushes. So
We should be
Oh.
able to take care of that. I'll
Yeah.
check on it and send you guys an email.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Is are you talking about the 4 or however many brown signs that list the sister cities, that type of thing?
It's one of those signs, yes. It's on the right hand as you're going like from, if you were at Wegmans in the Fifth Street, you know, if you were going towards downtown, it's on the right hand side and it's virtually totally obstructed by bushes.
Yeah, and I would, on a related note, I would suggest that we consider replacing the Pleven sign with Wayway Tenango, even though it's not officially a sister city yet, but I think we're we've at least partially embraced it as a
Right.
friendship city, and it seems to me like we could go ahead and add it to the sign and take the Pleven one off. You know, it's not an urgent matter, but as we're thinking about signage.
Max, do you have any thoughts on that? Is there any, what, is that a city council decision or how would that work?
Sorry. Okay, I'm here, sorry. So my only thoughts for that at the end of the courtship, so to speak, of you and Wayway being, or Charlottesville and Wayway being a friendship city, then there's supposed to be a discussion as to whether or not you would like to pursue an actual sister city status with them. And in the event that something arises and you think that that relationship may not work out for one reason or another, then we will have gotten a sign that we won't need. So that's my thoughts.
Well, good point. When they make updates to, would they completely replace the sign, or would it be, I presume it would be a completely new sign as opposed to a new decal or something like that.
I can't say I know the answer to that question.
Mhm.
And keep in mind, it's 4 distinct signs, so it's not like,
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like one big sign.
no.
And
It
does
would
the,
probably be a new sign, is my guess.
right. And does the cost for the sign come out of our budget?
I don't know.
Because that might make some difference. You know, I don't know if it would or wouldn't, but
I don't know. I can check on that too.
I mean, I think it's fine to wait. I've just wanted to sort of put that on the commission's radar screen as you were talking about signage. So
Next, it's not on our agenda, but I think it fits here before we lose anyone, is we need to reschedule the June meeting. It's currently on the scheduled for the 21st, but that is a city council meeting. So I wanted to throw out the possibility of June 14th, which is the previous Tuesday. How does that look? Hi, Sylvia. I just brought up our next council meeting, which is scheduled for June 21st, can't happen that day because of a city council meeting. And I propose that we meet on June 14th. So thumbs up for Dave. Anybody else? Adrienne? Okay, Elizabeth, works for me. Amanda, that'd be your last official meeting. Does that work for you?
Checking. I think my nephew has a graduation that night. Let me just double check though.
Well, it sounds like most of us. Stella, I know you're good. Will you be in Italy?
Yeah, but I mean, we should be fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot do that evening due to my nephew's graduation. Sorry.
Well, I'm very sorry. I'm sure you are too. But it looks like we have 6 people, which is already a quorum.
Okay.
So we probably ought to go with that date and hope that the others can join in. Does that sound good to y'all? Okay.
and Max will check on whether that we can set that up.
Yeah, Max, if you could just double check and make sure there's no other conflict that day, that would be great. And I will email everybody and let them know that it's been changed, those who aren't here. Okay. All right, moving along. Email communications report.
Happily, nothing to report there. If were Michael here, there was a confirmation that our Wix site was renewed. And I'm pretty sure he and Kina, or he and Max and Kina would have, I sent those communications on to them. So I think they took care of that. It looks like it's a $25 expense to renew the website for another year. But Michael would know the details on that. And that's it.
Great, thank you.
Yes, we did renew the domain.
I think I'm having I don't know the others, I'm having a hard time hearing you, Max.
Yeah, that happens. I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, right now it's coming
Yeah.
through.
So yes, we did recently renew the Sister City domain, the domain name.
All right, great. Okay, next we have our city reports, and Winneba is up first. Dave, would you like to report?
Yeah, so we had a wonderful visit to Winneba last week. We left on the 4th and returned on the 13th, so it was 9 days, and still recovering, but it was a great trip, 26 people. And I think everybody had a very positive experience and got to catch up with a lot of our friends and partners in Winneba, including both the local authorities, the civil authorities, the mayor and his staff, as well as the traditional authorities, the local king and his team, and got to experience Winneba's largest annual festival, and that was quite lively, and visited some historic sites relating to the transatlantic slave trade, which wasn't fun, but definitely eye-opening and powerful and meaningful. So all in all, it was a very positive experience. Thank you again to the commission for helping to provide funding for 2 partial travel scholarships. I know those individuals will be making a report to the commission on their experience in Winneba. And yeah, so and every time we go to Winneba, we always follow up on some of the projects that we work on over there. So we have a school there that we support. We support the local orphanage, microloan program for women entrepreneurs, the public library, health clinics, the fire station. Unfortunately, we were hoping the fire truck that the Charlottesville Fire Department donated would have arrived by the time we got to Winneba. But because of delays at the port in Baltimore, it's not arriving until the 23rd of May. So we missed the chance to present it in person, but we did have 3 representatives from the Charlottesville Fire Department on the trip, and they were able to sit down with their colleagues in the Winneba Fire Department and give them an orientation to the truck and share with them some operating manuals and just kind of bring them up to speed on operation maintenance of the vehicle, and had a very positive conversation about just fire safety issues in general. So yeah, very positive experience. I'm happy to answer any questions, but and otherwise just lots of other things. We have a new, I'll close with this. We have a new U.S. ambassador that's just been appointed last week to Ghana. We've had troubles in the past, as I've talked previously, about getting visas for visitors from Winneba to come to the U.S., to Charlottesville. And we're hoping with the new U.S. ambassador that, it'll create an opportunity for some new dialogue around facilitating visas for Sister City visitors. But one good thing that we're excited about is the new ambassador actually studied at the University of Virginia. So we're hoping that's a door that will help us build a relationship with her and her team, and hopefully some good things will follow.
What's her name?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
I can look it up.
I have it here. We haven't met her yet. She just literally last week presented her credentials to the Ghanaian government. Her name is Virginia Palmer. She's a State Department veteran. has served in other embassies in Africa in the past. So she's not a political appointment per se. She's more of a career diplomat, and hopefully some good things to come.
That's great. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Do you think the two that we help support would be interested in speaking at our upcoming meeting on June 14th?
Can certainly ask them. I know we had given them the option of either doing an in-person presentation or at least a written report of some sort. So I can ask them what their preference is and let you know.
Yeah, if one would be willing, or both. I mean, it would be nice if we could hear from one or both of them in person, if they come in person, virtually, if they don't mind. I mean, otherwise a written report is fine, but gosh, we love hearing from human beings when we
Yeah,
can.
I agree. And I suspect either, if not both of them, would be perfectly happy to come and speak. So I just have to double check with them.
Sure. Thank you. And they don't have to come with a PowerPoint or anything, just come with themselves and show their enthusiasm for the trip. That would be
Sure.
great. Thank you for checking on that. You might just let me know.
Yep, I will.
Thank you.
Dave, can you send some visuals my way, and we can get some. I got something out the day you left, but
Okay.
things that are actually live from the trip
Yeah.
would be great.
And we have posted quite a few pictures and a couple little videos on the Charlottesville Winneba Foundation Facebook page as well. If you want to, you could always just pull stuff from there too. And then Michael Osteen, who's a local architect, was on the trip, and he's got a great eye, and he always takes lots of pictures. This is his second time in Winneba. So if you happen to go to his Facebook page, you can see some beautiful pictures from this trip as well. But yes. And I also want to publicly thank Krista Farrell from the Jefferson Madison Regional Library and Roger and Jessica Voisinay. They hosted and organized a fundraiser for the Winneba Public Library that took place about a week before we left. And that fundraiser raised about $1,400 for the Winneba Public Library, which is a huge amount of money in Ghana. If you consider the average wage in Ghana, the average monthly wage in Ghana is the equivalent of $200 US. So $1,400 is a huge amount of money for them to be able to buy some books for the library. And they were just beyond thrilled with this gift. So we presented it to them when we were in Winneba. And so I want to thank Krista and Roger and Jessica and everyone else who helped with that fundraising.
Does Krista work at the JMRL?
She is the director of the downtown branch of the JMRL.
Okay, and the Voisinays are just interested community members?
Yep, both Roger and Krista have been on previous Winneba delegations, and we're well aware of the work we've done over the years to help get the library off the ground there. So, yeah.
Very good.
What did you say, Roger and who else? Voisinay?
Roger and his wife, Jessica.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Dave. All right, well, let's move on then. Based on song.
Okay, so last week, former city councilor and vice mayor Kristen Zekas visited Besançon, and she was able to meet with the mayor there and present a letter from our mayor, Mayor Snook, to their mayor. We were able to set her up to meet several of our kind of sister city organization partners in Besançon. They really roll out the red carpet for you when you come to Besançon, and they did that for her. She had someone to meet her at the train and someone who provided translation or interpreter services. She had about a half-hour meeting with the mayor, and they exchanged greetings and, basically sort of got to know each other a little bit. She was hosted by friends of the sister city relationship, Friends of Charlottesville, who live in Besançon. She had a second meeting the next day with our primary sister city contact over there. And all in all, I think I'm so pleased with it. I don't think it could possibly have gone better. She really did sort of reestablish in a way, or reinforce, I guess is maybe a better word, this longstanding relationship that we've had. And we have not had any sort of official or semi-official exchange since the pandemic started, frankly, since before the pandemic. So this was just a wonderful opportunity to kind of create that bridge, strengthen that bridge again, and sort of set the stage for other exchanges to resume, which we hope will happen in 2023. So I had a chance to talk with her while she was there, and I'll be meeting with her when she returns to kind of gather more interesting information, and happy to share that. She sent me a few pictures that she took, and Adrienne, I will make sure to forward those to you guys on communications so you can post those on our website, along with a little blurb about her visit. So that was just terrific. Really, seems like it was very, very successful visit. Second thing is that I have decided, for a variety of reasons, to delay my own trip to Besançon. And since Kristen was able to include a trip to Besançon in her travels this month, I planned to postpone my trip, and the most likely new trip window for me will be May 2023. So Damon, I don't know if we need to make a note of that in the minutes for sure, but I don't know if there is any kind of other decision that has to be made at the level of the full commission about the approval of the travel funds that that we did a couple of months ago. I guess I'll just consult with you. You and I can check back in with you to find out if there's sort of kind of official process we need to go through to sort of note that that money is now back in the general pot, as opposed to earmarked, if you're going to want me to request it anew, in the new fiscal year. I'll check with you about how, and maybe Michael too, about how best to manage that piece. I feel fine about that because, quite frankly, one of the things we've learned is that their office, the branch of their government that is responsible for their multiple sister city relationships, has, like in so many other places, really been sort of struggling under a variety of administrative and economic constraints during the whole pandemic. So they are not the well-oiled machine that they have been in years past and are capable of being. So I think they feel, as we do, that we'd like to get all of sort of the student exchanges and the official exchanges, and then planning for delegation exchanges, to get those up and running again, towards the end of this year, but certainly even better to kind of see that happening in 2023. So I feel like it makes sense for me to plan on going in that time frame. And that's my report.
Very good. Well, sounds like a successful trip on Kristen's part. And
Yeah.
I think
She's a great ambassador for us.
Yeah, definitely. I think it makes sense to spread out, even though she's not officially on the commission. I think it makes sense to spread out our contacts, and it sounds like that relationship has been solidified, and I don't want to say reestablished, but
well, there are new contacts there since 2020, when the new mayor came in, and she brought a complete new kind of administration. So there are still people who work in the equivalent of their city government, who have been there for a very long time, which is good for us. But there are also a bunch of new players. So she was able to meet some of those folks and, kind of make that in-person connection that, we'll be able to follow up on and build on in future visits as well.
That sounds great. Well, as far as needing to, we'll figure out if we need, I mean,
Yeah.
right now, we understand that you intend to travel, not now, but.
Yeah.
next. So good for us to know. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stella?
Yes, so basically there is still the musical project going on with Poggio. They are doing the music festival in July, and they asked us to provide somebody in the jury that could be somebody on this side to participate in the jury, and I recommended them Wes from the two, Wes and Kelly, the two people that went to Poggio to do the other musical project. He accepted, and basically how it works is that basically they are going to listen to the songs, and then but it's not going to be synchronous, let's say. So they are going to work on their own. They have a time frame where they have to provide the votes for the different songs. So you could do it without any problems. Anything else? I started looking for venues for having the concert here for the people that are winning. For now, I only looked at the Music Resource Center, which is on, I don't remember the name of the street, but basically close to Cherry and close to downtown. It's nice because it's like in an old church that now it's used to make different kind of concerts. So it's very big and everything, but it's not free. So I wanted to ask you how, like, for example, how can I ask the city hall? Because I remember that one time we were talking about using one of the venues that the city hall can have, like a park or something like that. But I mean, I don't know who I can ask to, if you had any idea about that. Like there is a person to email, I don't know, Parks and Rec maybe, but
Do you all, Dave, have we done anything, had any activities in a park before, kind of like this? That comes to mind. I know the Charlottesville Winneba Foundation has, right?
because they will probably come anyway in October, September or October. So I don't know. There is also, I mean, it's not exactly summer, so I don't know if it's okay to do it outside.
I wonder if they could potentially be teamed up with something like the Festival of Cultures, or there's something that happens in that time of year. There are probably a few things citywide. Maybe they become an event or
Yeah, that would be good. So at least there are also people going anyway. So, okay.
I don't know of, obviously we don't know what type of music they're playing, but I wonder, and I've not personally been there, but the front porch, which is right off of the downtown mall.
Okay, yes,
I
I
don't
haven't
know
checked that.
if that might be a feasible location or what they might charge.
I mean, this
It has the
venue,
capacity that we would want.
this venue was basically like 80 per hour. And then there were other fees like the cleaning fee, these kind of things. So I don't know, I will search for something like, I will search for different things and then we can see what. And I will also ask the city hall eventually if they have any kind of event like Adrian suggested that they can be, part of.
Right. Well, and we could also, there's nothing that says we can't look for sponsorships too. That might,
That's also true.
cover some of the costs that would be related to space rental.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And nothing. Yeah.
The fee that you just described for the Music Resource Center seems awfully reasonable.
Yeah, it was 80 per hour. Then, they have everything, so that's good. So, you don't have to rent any equipment or anything. But I mean, there is the cleaning fee that I don't remember how much it is. And if you want like the sound person, I don't remember the name, I mean, you know, the person that does the sound, then it will be other 35.
Per
I mean,
hour.
it's not bad, but I mean, you know,
Well, I mean, it sounds like we're talking $600 or $700 maybe.
yeah, maybe, yeah, I mean, it depends how we want also. I mean, I don't think it's going to be longer. 1 hour, it's maybe not enough because maybe, I mean, you need some time, but I mean, I don't think more than 2 hours anyway.
And there's
One
probably,
vote in favor of doing something like that as opposed to teaming up with another festival is that all the attention is strictly on Sister City and on
That's
Polo.
true.
There's something to be said for that, that if they're pushed into a corner of a larger event.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
and I do like an indoor venue, especially for that time of year. Could be rainy.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it can rain at the end. I mean, the same day. So
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for that report. Please
thank
keep
you.
us posted. It'll be interesting to find out the type of music that is the ultimate
I mean,
winner.
they are going to be young people, so I think more or less is going to be rock or
Mhm. Okay.
I'm assuming. I don't know. Usually, you know, young bands like this kind of music, pop. I don't know.
Mhm. Okay, well, you know, once we find it serious about the venue.
Yes, I mean, right now it's just to go and check,
Mhm.
but at least I started, so at
Yeah,
least we have that one. So
That's great, thank you. Okey doke. So, Wei, Sylvia, would you like to report on some of your activities you've had with them? With Elias? If you could unmute, please. You are still muted. Max, do you have the ability to unmute her?
Yeah, I'm checking on that now. Give me just a second. Let's see.
It was something, the day after the art exhibit, Sylvia and I ran into each other, what, the very next day? At a grocery store. That was fun.
I'm working on it.
Sylvia, are you using a laptop or a phone? Are you using a telephone or a laptop? I wish I could hear you.
Sylvia, can you hear us? Thumbs up if you can hear us.
Okay.
Okay. We can
So-
communicate via the chat. That's one way to say something.
Yeah. So on our screen, we have a mute button on the bottom left of our Zoom screen. It looks like a microphone on mine. Do you see anything like that on yours? At the bottom left of your Zoom screen? Ah, there
Okay,
you are.
maybe that. Is
All
that
right.
do it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, I had a wonderful discussion with Elias about Wawa, Huawei, right? And he was very keen to for me to go to Guatemala. In fact, that was pretty much what we talked about all the time. And he was very keen to connect Charlottesville and Huawei. He really wanted to do that more than anything. And he gave me some contacts, and I had contacted everyone, but so far no one has gotten back to me. So I haven't got any further with that. Anyway, so there's not a lot to discuss, but there's certainly things like coffee and textiles and clothes and things that he is very keen for us to see and swap various things, have people here know about what they produce. And anyway, so we are talking, but the other people who can help more with this are not. So that's where things are. And I'm also trying to reapply because, as you know, my term ends in June. Okay.
Great. Thank you for reapplying.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
That's really all I have to say.
Well, that's great. Thanks for the update. I have to say, I have to give props to Wei Wei coffee. It is delicious. I'm working through a bag right now myself. So thumbs up to Wei Wei coffee.
Where did you get it, Damon?
Hmm?
Where did you get it?
Orange County Roasters sells coffee from Wei Wei. Mhm.
Oh, thanks for the tip.
So Orange County
We-
Roasters.
That could be something on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe Shenandoah Joe has a Wei Wei coffee. I happen to get Orange County Roasters, but their Wei Wei coffee is delicious. So if we ever get together in person, I'll have to bring some and we can have some coffee together. By the way, Sylvia, we had a conversation before you were here on when we would be meeting in person, and it now appears that September is when we will be meeting back in person.
Okay. Okay, so I have a problem with deafness, and so this meeting for me is very difficult to hear. And so I don't feel I'm participating in a sensible way here. So I'll be glad when it's face to face. So,
Thank you.
okay. So September.
Yes, that would be our first in-person meeting, and that also happens to be our retreat.
Okay.
So that will be a longer meeting than normal.
A question about the closed captioning. Sylvia, are you able to see the closed captioning for this meeting?
Well, it says it on the screen. It says there's two little things that say, one says who can see this, and so I don't know, maybe you're gonna have to teach me how to do this, Adrian.
Yeah, you know where you put your microphone on?
Yeah.
Down there, look for live transcript. And click that and it will allow you to see the subtitles, right? Show subtitle.
I know, I just did it and nothing happened.
Well, look at
So
the
the live
words. that are- Look at the words.
It says shows subtitle.
I'm
Click on
seeing
show
your
subtitle.
words, your spoken words.
Yeah, click on show subtitle.
Yep.
and it pops up. Or should. It did for me.
Okay,
You see it?
yeah,
Oh, great. Okay.
yeah, that's great.
Perfect. Thanks. You've saved the day, Adrian.
Well, it's always
Okay.
fun when these little pluses can actually be used.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, really. That's great.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Great. All right. So Sylvia, is it your hope once you do make contact with the folks in Wei Wei, is it your hope to plan a trip?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I love to travel anyway, and so this will be a wonderful experience for me. And Elias was very generous with his information. He said that if I went, that he would go too.
Great.
And he would then take me to a coffee farm and meet with a women's cooperative, and also with people who make all different kinds of textiles, and a llama and alpaca farm. So this would be really amazing. Plus, I'm going to go to the various small boutiques that are. There are places here that sell wool and very interesting places. I'm going to talk to all those vendors and see if anyone was slightest bit interested in doing something with our sister city or friendship city right now. Anyway, so So that was all very exciting. And my partner and I would go in October. In October, there's a Revolution Day parade. And in September, there's something else. But we wouldn't be able to, I'm going to be in England in September. So October would be the time. And evidently the weather is the best there is then. It's like beautiful.
Good.
Anyway, so that's sort of in the works.
Great.
But I need to hear back from these other people who've been there. There's this woman, I can't remember her name now, but anyway, she 2 or 3 people I contacted and they haven't gotten back to me. So I'll just contact them again.
Okay.
Here, not there, here.
Thank you for your persistence.
Okay.
I have someone I can connect you to. I'll reach out to you separately to make sure that you made contact. I know someone, in fact,
Okay.
who is very involved.
Okay.
And who's planning to travel there in August, and it would be important that you make that connection. He's on the
Yeah, no,
Ishtan Foundation board.
anybody who's going or has been there would be wonderful for me. Even
Okay.
simple things like how to travel there the best way, right?
Excellent.
So,
Adrian.
I was wondering, Elizabeth, if you were going in this direction, but if you are not using funds this year that might be attached to this fiscal year, perhaps the trip that falls in that time cycle could be, those funds could be used for the trip that Sylvia would make. And the other thought I had was, Damon, you mentioned that Kate Kogi might be coming back to town, and she was the Weiwei person before she left for a job in DC. So she would be a really good contact to make too. I think I've given you her name, Sylvia, before.
yes.
And she would just probably have very helpful information for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't mind paying for myself, but one of the things I might need funds for will be taking things to them and bringing some of their things back. Things that we can show. Maybe the guy from Seville Coffee is interested in having a Guatemalan coffee week or something. I mean, lots of people are interested in doing things. And if I could bring some clothes, textiles, back to vendors here, we could do something. I don't know, we could have a Guatemalan week or something. I don't know, it's just early days, but it's so Elias was very excited about this. So I think that we would have a big ally there, right?
And it sounds like a very specifically focused trip for Sister City, for relationships. And we really need to review the
Yeah.
timeline where we are on this Friendship City thing. It's been at least 2 years. So
Yeah.
if I remember right, 3 years was sort of the arc for that preliminary period. So this might be really nicely timed.
Okay.
Well,
Good.
we would definitely want to, hopefully you would have the opportunity to meet with some government officials there and other people involved in developing the Sister City program. That would be especially helpful. We can talk about that.
Sure.
If you do decide that you would like, that you're interested in commission funding, if you would write me a proposal, a letter that we could then present to the commission and then vote upon.
Sure. So I want to speak to a lot of people first and see what level of interest there is before we get into that.
Sure, no,
Um,
that's fine.
Because I'm very enthusiastic and not everybody may share my level of enthusiasm. I don't know, we'll see.
Well, I'm not sure who the other people are, but if you're enthusiastic and Elias is enthusiastic, you know.
And also, it sounds like you would go with some interest from other local Charlottesvillians, like Seville Coffee wanting to team up and do something. I mean,
Oh, no, I mean, everybody I've
great.
mentioned it to is very excited about this.
yeah.
And I'm going to try to brush up on my Spanish a bit so that I can get it, myself, as opposed to interpreters,
Sounds great. Hey, thank you for your initiative on Wayway. It's exactly what we've needed for some time now. So thank you.
Okay, sure.
All right, let's move on now to the Budget and Finance Committee. And since Michael isn't here, I guess that would be me. The City Council is due an annual report, which Michael and I are going to make in the coming months. So that is on the horizon. And let me just, Michael, by the way, for those who weren't here earlier, did say he plans to apply again to have another term. So most grateful for that, since he's done such a fantastic job as our treasurer. Let me see, he sent me an email, just double checking. Oh yeah, this you wrote there's one pending transaction for $276 and change, plus some reimbursements to Kina for the website hosting, which we spoke about.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
specifics, Damon, if you'd like
Okay,
that.
great. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Please.
so the website renewal, the charges was $24.85, and then we reimbursed Miss Anderson for the expenses she paid out of pocket for her Winnebug grant project, and that was for $276.82. So the remaining balance right now is $22,392.07.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, let's seeing that we only have about 20 minutes left, let's keep forging ahead. Next, we have grants, and first, outstanding projects report.
Yes, am I mute? Yeah, I'm on. For the projects that go back to 2020 and then the next year's 2021, there are two main categories. I'm going to talk about them sort of at the same time, and that is whether or not the grantees have drawn down all their funds and if there's outstanding funding. And the second is whether or not we've had an update or a report or presentation from them. So in 2020, we had Myra Anderson's Peace, Love, and Poetry project. All those funds have been drawn down, and I've been in touch with her recently, or have reached out to say, hey, we'd love to schedule a report or a presentation or some kind of wrap up on your project. With the fire safety, funds have all been drawn down, and that too, we would need some sort of an update or a presentation. I shouldn't say update, kind of the conclusion, letting us know how it all went. Although I do understand that it's still in progress with that fire truck hanging out in Baltimore. The last 2020 grant project was Storie Musicali, and we did hear from Wes and Kelly last time. And I think we would construe that as their official presentation. They have a few funds left still outstanding, and I've been reminding these grantees that the deadline is May 31st. So that's just in a couple of weeks to get those requests in. For the 2021 projects, Ixtatan has outstanding funds, and we have not had a status update from them in some time, and we need that and or a presentation. The same with the Pen Pals. The Pen Pals, the funds have been drawn down, but we need to schedule a presentation or report, and that ends with, that leaves us with the Face-to-Face International Portrait Project. And we are still waiting for their request for funds. They haven't requested anything yet, and so they really have 31 minus 17, however many days to do that. And then also give us some type of a presentation or report. We can, unless there are questions, yeah, I can take questions on what I've said so far before we get to a little bit more detail on that particular grant project, Face-to-Face.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Adrian, sorry, just for the minutes again. The Ixtatan, what is the one that you referenced that has the Ishtatan grant. Could you just
Yes.
repeat that for me, please?
Yes, the Ixtatan grant, they have taken some of their funding, but they still have some remaining. I
This
don't
is
have
for
the
the web, this is for the,
internet
yeah,
connections.
internet. That's right.
Internet connections. And yes, that's.
So they
that's-
still have some funds to draw down, and they
Right.
also are aware of the May 31st deadline for using those.
Yes, I've sent a few reminders starting in, I think back in March when we made this decision.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, just wanted to clarify.
No, that's okay. And the pen pals, I cannot remember the grantee's name off the top of my head. I should have that. Actually, I had the dashboard. I've been trying to update that dashboard, and I'm just curious if Dave, are you in touch at all with the woman who received the funding for the pen pals project?
Not too much. Libby Edwards Albaugh is the.
Libby,
grant-
that's it.
yeah. But I have not heard anything from her recently. So.
Okay. We, in our new life, which is 2022 grants onward, we are assigning a liaison person to every grant so that we have a specific commission member who would be getting updates, who would be probably doing some of the reaching out that I've been doing, to remind the grantees of these important deadlines and remind them of the obligations of the grant, which is to keep us updated and give us a final report. And we all know how great they've been when we've heard Rebecca or Rachel McLaughlin and her arts project, and Wes and Kelly the last time. They're just fantastic to hear about what the outcome is. So moving on to the face-to-face project.
Corinne?
Oh, yes.
Oh, sorry, just before we move on, I just wanted to offer a suggestion too. If several of these projects I think are Winneba focused, I wondered if it could be coordinated for those grantees to all kind of present their results in the same session. It could be a kind of interesting to hear about all of the different touch points with Winneba, and probably for those grantees too, they might enjoy hearing the updates from other community members. Just a suggestion if it's logistically feasible.
That's a wonderful idea. That'd be really fun.
Mhm, I agree.
I'm trying to think of, I guess, how to do that, to contact all three of them in a single email and propose that, figure that out anyway. But that's great. Any other questions before we update on face-to-face? Elizabeth?
Sorry, just really quickly, I wanted to make sure everybody knows I have to sign off at 6 o'clock on the dot because I'm running a meeting. It starts at 6. So if we happen to run over, I'll ask somebody to please continue the minutes and get those to me.
The face-to-face closing reception was really lovely. I was able to, a number of us were able to actually see each other in flesh and blood. Damon and Sylvia were there, and Stella was there. I think that's it from our commission. Dave, you were there earlier. I think I missed you because I came a little bit later. And at least four of the 8 artists were there, which was great to get a chance to meet them and talk with them. I see this as a slightly unfortunate aspect, is that I don't know that anyone was taking any photos or any records of that event. I haven't seen anything on the website of the bridge, and I didn't think to take pictures, but I was trying to, talk to the artists and learn more about the project itself. So, this business of our promotion of our work is really starting to become important. Like, we have to figure out how to document what happens. I do have some very rough and dirty photos of the works although the bridge itself is supposed to take really professional, good photos of them. And I did a sort of a quick video, like moving through the gallery. And I had to figure out a good way to make those available to everyone. I think I work with Dropbox. I'm always on the brink of running out of my space there, my free space, and I'm too stingy to pay for Dropbox. But anyway, I would like to get that information to those of you who didn't see anything, and you could at least see something rough. And I'll get with the bridge people to find out when they're going to have the professional work done, so that can be publicized. And if Damon and Sylvia or Stella want to say anything about their experience that evening, and Dave.
Elizabeth's hand is up.
Oh, no, sorry.
No, I just, it was a great opportunity to be together in person and to see the fantastic artwork. I believe, Dave, did you carry along some of it to Winneba?
I did. I don't know if I'm able to share my screen, but I actually have a, no, I guess not. But I was going to show a picture of, we presented the two folks that were, the two portrait subjects from Winneba. I was able to present the portraits to them when we went to Winneba. And I just thought the exhibit was really fascinating. All the different styles, just the artistic styles, some quite abstract and more, some more, traditional portraiture. But so it was really neat being able to present the portraits to the portrait subjects themselves when we got to Ghana.
Dave, that would be fantastic to get those photos, because that would both promote the grant itself and then the trip. It'd be
Yeah.
great.
And so, Adrian, I have sent you a link which has the sort of our group photo album from our trip, and so you'll see those pictures in that album.
Oh, okay, great.
So I and Dave also we have to leave at 6. So let's forge ahead. Is there an outreach report?
Can we hear from Stella maybe next time on we're going to hear from her on the most current 2022 grant status? Henry Pollard's Teenage Life in COVID. I mean, I'm okay pushing it to June, but I just want to acknowledge that we were going to get an update from her on that. Sylvia, you can mute.
Sylvia, please leave a message.
Oh,
You can turn
no.
your microphone off.
I'm gonna mute.
There you go.
Thank goodness.
No, basically I emailed him when you put me in contact with him, but I didn't receive anything. So I'll try to email him again to see, and I can write to you anyway, just to let you know how it's going on, just to see what it says. He says.
All right, thank you, Stella. Anything else from outreach? All right. Is there an education report?
Just one thing on outreach, we have a new communications director. You may be aware that Dave Dillahunt has replaced Brian Wheeler, or whoever might have been before Brian, right after Brian. Anyway, that's the person that we would be in connection with taking the place of Lachine Parks. That's the name.
So is it permanent?
Yes, Dave is a permanent communications director, and I think Lachine was an assistant to him. So I don't know if Remy Trail is still the assistant to Dave. But anyway, those are the new transition.
Okay. Max, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I believe that David is the interim director of communications.
Oh, I thought the newspaper just yesterday or day before announced that it was official. But anyway, okay.
Looking at my emails now. I don't believe he's the director, though.
Do we have an education report? I think Vivian had something come up with that school related, so that's why she's not here today.
I don't believe we do. No.
Well, in that case, I think we have managed to wrap up before 6 o'clock. Does anyone, I guess this is, since Amanda can't attend our next meeting, this is your last official meeting. So we will miss you terribly. Thank you for everything once again.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's really been a pleasure to work with all of you and wish the commission the best in the work moving forward. And as I shared earlier, I'm happy to help out in any way I can or answer questions in the future. So, and Adrian, I'll be in touch with you. I know there are a couple of things on grants that I wanted to make sure I wrapped up and finished before I fully exit. So thanks, everyone, and enjoy the summer.
Thank you. All right, everybody. I guess we'll see each other again on June 14th.
Sounds great.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.